Hi there, John. First, an apology. Yes, I'm still doing this. We're doing Conquering Star Wars, where we look at and review every canon aspect of the Star Wars universe, hopefully before the release of Episode 9. Today I'm looking at Thrawn Alliances, which is a sequel to Thrawn by Timothy Zahn, one of my favourite Star Wars books out there. I was nervous about Thrawn Alliances because Eli is not present. In my original review, I talked about the character of Eli. Eli really gives the audience, the reader, a way to experience the story with awe, as opposed to I never feel like this guy's in trouble. Like, because Eli is kind of our avatar, really allows us to enjoy that story and not just get annoyed with Thrawn being the best all the time. Now, Eli's not in this book, so instead we have Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader. What I mean by that is the book is split between two different time periods, and it cuts between them. We've got the Clone Wars era, where Thrawn meets Anakin Skywalker, and they go on kind of a mission together. And then you've got the Empire era, where Thrawn meets, well, I guess he's already met, but he teams up with Darth Vader. And you got those two going on a very different, very separate mission. The Thrawn-Anakin dynamic was not as interesting as the Thrawn-Vader dynamic, because Anakin really felt like, well, Anakin Skywalker. He was a little whiny. Thrawn was kind of trampling over him intelligently. You felt like Thrawn looked down upon Anakin Skywalker a lot, which I don't know was the intention, but that's kind of what came across to me, which was fun, you know. As someone who does think that Anakin is a little bit whiny, it was fun to see him kind of be put in his place. But what I was here for was Vader and Thrawn, and oh my, does that deliver. Vader and Thrawn is so fun because by the time we get to, Thrawn teaming up with Darth Vader, Thrawn is no longer this unstoppable, unbeatable force of nature. You know, if you watch Rebels, you don't have to, by the way, but if you watch Rebels, you knew that he has suffered some minor failures at this point. And Vader knows this and will remind him of this. And when you have a character like Darth Vader, and you have a character like Thrawn, two characters that are seemingly unstoppable, unbeatable tacticians, and you have them, oppose each other and argue with each other, it's very fun, because Thrawn goes from what he was in the first book, which was this person to look up to and to always, trust in, to this character that you want to root for, because Vader is really, putting on the pressure, and all of a sudden Thrawn becomes, the protagonist, whereas in the first book Eli was kind of the protagonist and was looking up to Thrawn, and Thrawn was never really in doubt. Thrawn in this book is very much the protagonist, especially in the bits with Vader and him, because he has to push past Vader, he has to convince Vader, he has to show Vader what everyone else already knows, which is that Thrawn is brilliant. But Vader isn't just going to believe this, based on hearsay or statistics. And I thought this was brilliant. I think the relationship between Darth Vader and Thrawn was captivating. I loved Vader's kind of intentions and his motivations for pushing Thrawn in a certain way. The conclusion to the Darth Vader and Thrawn story was very, very moving for me. I thought it was really good, and it kind of came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting to be so impacted by the conclusion to that kind of relationship and that story. I thought it was really, really interesting. But I will say, one thing that I really liked about this book, that this is really, fanboying, and this isn't something that I think a lot of people would take as much pleasure out of it as I did. But this book is the first appearance of Batuu and Black Spire Outpost in a Star Wars thing. Like we get to go to Batuu, we get to see Black Spire Outpost, or in fact, at least we get to read about it. Now, getting away from the kind of like fanboy stuff and getting back to the actual book, I will say that this book was very, very much enjoyable. I think the first one still beats it out because of the charm of the first one, the Eli relationship with Thrawn, and just every page being like, what is Thrawn going to do next? The Anakin Skywalker stuff in this book was good, but it wasn't as great as the Vader stuff. So I think I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. Still, excellent. excellent, fantastic book, would recommend, but I'm very much excited to read Thrawn Treason now, which is, I think, the conclusion to this whole story, and if the rumours are to be believed, I think Eli's coming back, so that'll be interesting. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Conquering Star Wars. I'm sorry that this is all I do. I will try and do something else. I know I say that at the end of every video, but who knows, maybe something will strike me. But until then, I've got to review all of the Star Wars.